If you've just recently learned that you're a highly sensitive person, you might wonder, now what? And even if you've known for a while that you're a highly sensitive person, you might find that your life hasn't really changed much and things haven't really started looking better. You are going to want to watch today's video because I want to talk about what do we do with this knowledge of being highly sensitive people. So if this is the first time that you're watching one of my videos, my name is Tertia and I am a highly sensitive person. I'm also a highly sensitive extrovert, which is really two opposite sides of the coin. I work with highly sensitive people and empaths, and my mission and my goal and my purpose is to help you embrace your sensitivity and to allow you to show your true colors and your vulnerabilities and your strengths, which are all folded together in this beautiful cocoon of sensitivity. And I also create videos around spirituality and self-growth on my YouTube channel, so I would love for you to please join our community and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. And that is then enough about me. So let's talk now about what do you do with this information that you are a highly sensitive person. Just a little bit of background. When I first found out that I was a sensitive person, my first reaction was I completely rejected any idea of being sensitive. Now, pushing away this whole idea of being sensitive is quite normal, and I think most of us do that in some way or another, because when you accept that you are sensitive, it changes things. And often we are not ready yet to accept that change because we are afraid. As sensitive people, as highly sensitives, we like to know the outcomes of things. We don't like surprises, so we are very good at planning and at strategizing because we like to see how things are going to unfold. And if you don't know how it's going to roll out, then it's easier just to reject that. But that is the worst thing that we can do, because you are going against your nature. You're going against the truth of your DNA. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is that you need to educate yourself. Learn everything that you can about the trait of high sensitivity. There's so much research being done, and the more that you educate yourself, the better you understand all of these different aspects of who you are. I think one of the things that is so beautiful that I see in the trait of being a highly sensitive person is that there are so many different dimensions to this trait of high sensitivity. And there are really four main characteristics about our sensitivity. And you might have seen the acronym DOES, D-O-E-S. So just to quickly go into what this stands for is the D stands for depth of processing. Our nervous systems and our brains have been created in such a way that we process everything like a supercomputer. So we are very effective in analyzing, process, filtering, absorbing, and interpreting all of the information from everywhere in our vicinity. And of course, if you take in so much information, if you have this deep level of processing where you really dig down into all of the stimuli, all of the information, it is going to overstimulate you. You can think for yourself, it's like a supercomputer that overheats because of it's getting too much information, it's getting too much input. And because of this level of processing, we need to start doing different things in our lives to accommodate the overstimulation that we have as a result. And that is what the O stands for, overstimulation, which is, as I said, a natural result of the level of processing. So highly sensitive people feel both negative emotions and positive emotions more strongly than non-sensitive people. And that is what the E in the acronym stands for, empathy or emotional responsiveness. And what they found that in our brains, when we observe someone doing something, the mirror neurons in our brains fire and are more active than the mirror neurons in other people's brains. So as highly sensitive people, we are experiencing the same feelings as the person who we are observing. And that's why our feelings can be so intense. And that's why it's so important that we become empowered so that we can tell which feelings are ours and which belongs to someone else. That's one of the big challenges that we have a lot of times in terms of setting boundaries and also being able to separate what we feel from someone else's feelings, because we get confused. We absorb all of that thinking that it's our own feelings when it's actually not. And then the S stands for sensing subtleties. And this is again the supercomputer brain, where we are extremely aware of the smallest subtleties in our environment. And that also explains why we can be so sensitive to strong smells or bright lights. Something that won't disturb another person at all can be really overwhelming for us, because we are amplifying all of the information in our environment and then taking that in and processing that. So really, it is our brain and our nervous system that is on super overdrive, and we need to find ways in which to manage this super overdrive so that we can begin to live optimally. So that's the first thing, is educate yourself. The more that you educate yourself, the better you can work with the traits that you have. The second thing, which I experienced, made a big difference in my life, and from the work that I've done with my clients, when you change your lifestyle to accommodate this highly sensitive side of you, you'll find that you feel a lot more power, and you feel a lot more inner strength, because you are taking care of those things like getting adequate rest. We all have different demands in terms of how much rest we need and how much sleep we need, but that is a non-negotiable for a sensitive person, is you need to get enough sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to be able to function well. And you are not going to be able to withstand any pressure or to handle any stress. When you have enough sleep, when you take care of your physical needs, such as drinking adequate water and eating nutritional food and doing exercises, when you do these things to take care of your physical side, you will find that you are a lot more resilient. So you have a lot more strength to deal with the mental and the emotional side of being a highly sensitive person. So you need to change your lifestyle. And what I always suggest to my clients is take stock of what it is that you're doing now. How much sleep do you get every night? What is your morning routine? When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing that you do? Do you have children jumping all over your bed, or do you keep on hitting the snooze button until there is really no more time left for you and you just have to jump up, get dressed and grab a cup of coffee as you head out the door? Or do you wake up in such a way that you can ease into your day? What type of food do you eat? What kind of shows do you watch? What kind of social media do you consume? Take a look at all of those things, and from there you can begin to curate a lifestyle that's going to be more supportive to what you need as a highly sensitive person. So it really is about self-exploration and understanding what your triggers are, because a one-size-fits-all lifestyle is definitely not going to work for you. The last thing that I'm going to share with you in this video is self-care needs to become a priority. So self-care here, and I've made videos about this which I'll link for you in the description below. Self-care is not about pampering yourself. The real self-care work that we need to do as highly sensitive people is to listen to our physical and our emotional needs, to honor those needs, and to take regular time out. That is the biggest self-care practice that you can start today. You can start it right now, and that is to every day take out some time for yourself where you are disconnected from any electronics. You are not near any people. Even if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom and switch off the light and stay there for 5 minutes, nobody will bother you there. You need to create some time in your day, because in this alone time, that is so part of the self-care. What happens is your brain now has time to deal with all of these things that it's been processing as a result of being so aware of the subtleties and so sensitive to the emotions and the feelings of others. So these then really are the three key things that I think are a good stepping stone from when you discover that you're a highly sensitive person. The step beyond that is to do the inner work. I can't stress enough how important it is for us as highly sensitive people to do some inner work around our core wounds. We carry many core wounds with us, most notably the core wound of I am too sensitive, there's something wrong with me, I am not good enough, and I don't matter. So when we work with these core wounds, it allows us to show up in a completely different and authentic way. And as long as these wounds and these emotions are unresolved, they are going to continuously show up, they're going to continuously sabotage you, and they are going to continuously trip you up and prevent you from really stepping into your full expression as a highly sensitive person. If you would like some support in your journey of discovering your wonderful gifts and strengths as a highly sensitive person, then you can book a free discovery call with me. I will put a link in the description below. I have an 8-week coaching course that is aimed specifically at highly sensitive people, and we do coaching and healing in the sessions, and I also teach you practical tips and tools that you can use to really support you to live your life authentically. So if you are interested in doing this 8-week coaching cycle, but you want to see if we are a good fit, then it's a good idea for you to book the discovery call so that we can just meet each other and you can explore the different ways in which I will work with you in order to support you in this. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do me a favor and hit the like button. Remember to subscribe if you haven't yet done so, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.